Okay, so let's start with today's session. So, hello everyone. My name is Adar Soni and I'm a development mentor and facilitator for this year's Android State Jam conducted by the DSCL University. Currently, I'm in third year of my undergrad in computer science. And today, we are very excited to start today's session. So, let's get it started. This is session 2 of Android Basics. So, before moving, let's just start off by recapping what we did last time. Can anyone remember what we learned in session 1? If anyone was present in session 1 of our Android study jam? Anyone? They can raise.
Everyone, don't be shy. Please feel free to ask anything and interrupt him in middle and ask your doubt. Please go ahead.
Okay, so in past session we learned Kotlin programming, basics of Kotlin, like how to write and run a program in Kotlin, how to print text, what are variables, difference between var and val data types, repeat loop in Kotlin. If you didn't join the previous session, you can check the link in YouTube for our past session. And what we'll be doing today is pathway 2 is where you create your first step. You will need to download and install Android Studio on your computer. A step-by-step guide we will be doing in ahead. Okay, so in Android Studio, you can use Android emulator, which can emulate various devices on your computer. Emulator also allows you to run your app and it provides almost all capabilities that a real Android device would have. If you do have a physical device and want to use it, there are also no also instructions for that to get you set up. You can either use emulator or physical device to test your app. It's up to your personal preference. And also today, lastly, in pathway 3, we will be learning basic concepts of customizing the user interface of a simple app. The user interface, also known as UI of your app, includes what the app looks like and how the user interacts with it. Okay, so what is layout of an app? The layout of an app is the design or arrangement of what the user sees on the screen. In Android, a layout is made up of views, right? What are views? The user interface of an app is what you see on the screen, like text, images, buttons, and many other types of elements. It's how the app shows things to the user and how the user interacts with that. Each of these elements is what calls a view. Almost everything you see on the screen of your app is a view. Views can be interactive, like a clickable button or an editable input file. Here are some of the examples shown in this slide, like views provided by Android, text views for displaying text, image view for displaying images, and button to perform some actions when tapped. That's it. Let's get started. Okay, in short, what we will be learning today is how to set up Android Studio on computer. So we will be downloading Android Studio and installing it. How to start a project from template in Android Studio. How to run an Android app on the emulator or on a physical device. And text and images to a layout. Modify attributes in a text view or image view. Okay, so let's get started. Open the course page with the link provided in the comments. Let me paste the course link. Go ahead and start with the course. Select unit. Select the green button, unit 1 of basics course. And then we will be going over pathway 2 and 3 today, as we discussed. Start by working on the second pathway. All right, go ahead and get started on unit 1, pathway 2 of Android basics in Kotlin course.
Everyone, I just request you all to please go to the link which was given by others and start the pathway 2 along with others, and you can complete the pathway along with him today itself.
Okay, so we will be going to Unit 1, Kotlin Basics. In session 1, we learned Kotlin Basics Pathway 1. Today we will be completing Pathway 2 and 3. Create your first app, Introduction to Android Studio. We can skip this video, and if you want to watch, you can watch it. We will go to second pathway, second step, like download and install Android Studio. Okay, so for the prerequisites, you just need to know some basic computer skills and maths, and that's it. You should have a Windows or Mac OS with minimum system requirements for Android Studio, like 8 GB RAM or minimum 22 GB of disk space. That's it. No graphics card required for Android Studio. So let's talk about what is Android Studio, right? Uh, Android Studio is help us create Android apps. Android Studio is what's known as the IDE or integrated development environment. If this is your first time working with an IDE, you can think of it as being like a workshop with a lots of tools. These tools help you create your code and lay out how your app will look like on the screen. It shows you a real-time preview of what your design will look like as you create each screen. Similar to how Google Docs checks your spelling, Android Studio checks for errors as you type. It also gives you suggestions to help you code faster. Android Studio builds and runs your app either on an actual Android device or on something called an emulator, a tool that allows your computer to simulate an Android device. So for the system requirements of Android Studio, as we discussed, 8 GB of RAM is minimum and 22 GB of disk space is required. And minimum processor is also i3 Intel. So, okay, to download Android Studio, you can go to the link. I will be pasting this link in comments. Click here to download Android Studio, accept the terms and conditions, and download it. I have already downloaded it, so I'm not downloading it again. It will take a couple of minutes to download, and after downloading, you can install it. For Windows part, you can just install it like any other program. Just go to the download file, double click it, and next. Accept the terms and conditions, and it will. After finishing, it will just start it. Any doubts up to here regarding installation and download of Android Studio? If you haven't already downloaded Android Studio, you can just skip it because it will take couple of minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes to install and download additional files for it to run. You can just watch today's session so that you can get an idea of how to work on Android Studio. Okay, so we will start by making our first app in Android Studio. First, okay, so how after installing your Android Studio, you can just open it. It will show a window like this. Click on New Project. select empty activity. What is this? So it is a template provided by Android Studio. To get an idea what you can do it, these are templates for many different types of devices, such as phones, tablets, and watches, and different types of apps. At top left of the window, click on phone and tablet, this one, and in top arrow, click the empty activity to select it as a template for your project. Click next. Now the name. In the box, what is name? It is the name of your project. We will name it as Happy Birthday. We are making birthday app, which will show a text Happy Birthday. Package name. So what is package name? It is a package name is used by Android Studio to uniquely identify your app. Usually this defaults to name of your organization, like example.com. We write it in reverse order dot com dot example, and then followed by your name of the app, all in lowercase. So our name of the app is Happy Birthday. We don't need to write it. If you have domain, you can write here. Otherwise, it Android Studio will automatically generate it. Select the location where your project should be saved. Select language. In language, you will select Kotlin. Minimum SDK. It indicates the minimum version of Android that your app should run on. Right? We have selected Android 5.0. So minimum requirement for Android Studio, Android version for our app is 5.0. Don't select this option. Use legacy Android or support libraries and keep all the things as default and click finish. Wait until Android Studio has completed setting up your project. A message in the bottom left corner like will be shown after it has finished. Okay, so while it is loading our project, we can see how to install a emulator, right? In top left, in the top right corner, you can see it is written AVD Manager. You can select this one. Here we can create a virtual. I have already created a virtual device. You can also create by clicking on Create a Virtual Device. We can select a device from here. We will be selecting Pixel 3 XL. This one. Click Next. Select a system. Uh, I am selecting R by default. If you want to download, you can download any one of the operating system or Android version you want. Click Next. Leave all the fields by default. And if you want to name your emulator, you can name from here and click Finish. It will create the emulator. We can run it from here by clicking the play button. And that's it. Our emulator will start. We will boot the emulator by pressing power button. Okay, so our Android project has been loaded. After creating the emulator, let's just see the files we have. In the top left corner, you can see written Android. These are our project files. The first folder is app, where all our files of the project are there. Okay. Now these all things, these all files are called project source files. That's it. In like this, we created an emulator in this section. To create an emulator, we will study in deep what all these files are in the next step. Is run your app on a mobile device. If you don't want to run your app in an emulator, you can use your mobile device also by enabling the USB debugging option in develop option in your mobile settings. Just go to your mobile settings in about section and click your build number 4 to 5 times, and it will enable developer options. In developer options, go to USB debugging and turn it on. After going to USB debugging, you can connect the mobile with your system, and to start your physical device to show or test your physical your app on your physical device, you can download this. In tools, we will go to SDK manager, and here we will search SDK and go to SDK tools and Google USB drivers. This one you can install. This one it is optional, but you can install this. If any error occurs, you can install this and the errors will be gone. And after that, it will show a message like this one: allow USB debugging. Allow it by pressing OK, and your device will be shown here. Like I started emulator, so it is showing Pixel 3 XL API 30. If you connect your mobile device, it will be showing our mobile device here. If you want to run your app on physical device, you can follow these instructions. Okay, so this was pathway 3. In pathway, this was pathway 2, in which we downloaded Android Studio, installed it, and we learned what is emulator and how to install an emulator. We will run apps on emulator in the next step. How to run your app on a physical device using USB debugging in this section. Create your first step. Now we'll learn what build a basic layout. Introduction video, we can skip this one. Create a birthday card. So in this code lab, we will be learning Android app and that displays a text. You will be able to position the text on screen by understanding more about user interface components in Android. Just like this one, we have set up the project by writing name of the project is Happy Birthday. Okay, so in the introduction video, we talked about what are views. So that displays on the screen. So the user interface of an app is what you see on the screen, like text, images, buttons, and many other types of elements. Is how the app shows things to user. Each element, as we discussed, is a view. Okay, so what is a view? It's an interactive anything like text, which is shown on the screen, like text, images, clickable button, or anything. So the views in Android Studio don't just float on the screen by themselves. Let me go to activity.main section. We will be seeing what these all components are. So let me open one image to explain it more clearly. Okay, so in this image, this is the same image which is shown in our Android Studio. Okay, so what it represents. So on the left part, right, on the first, it is project window, which you have seen before. It lists all the files that make up your project. At the center, the fourth and fifth one, that represents the screen layout for your app. The representation on the fourth one is close of what your screen will look like and what app runs. It's called the design view. The representation on the fifth is a blueprint which can be useful for specific operations. We will be seeing it in next sessions. And the next is second one, which is a plate, which contains list of all different types of views which you can add to your app, like text, button, widgets, layouts, containers. These all are things which you see on your app. The third is component tree. It is different representation of the views of your screen. It lists all the views of your screen which you have used in your app. If I just drag and drop text from here, it will be shown in the constraints layer, component tree. On the sixth one, this thing is attributes. It shows you the attributes of a view and lets you change them. Like if I select text, it will show all the attributes of text, like to change the text size, text font, text color, and all. And this screen is known as layout editor. We will go to, let's go to Android Studio, click on activity.main file. Where is activity.main is located? It is located in res folder in layout view. In layout folder, it is located. In as we saw what in component, notice that there is constraint layout and a text view underneath it. Where is text view? It is here. It has we have written hello world here. This one is text view. Is intended because it is inside the constraint layout. As you add more views to constraint layout, they will be added to the list. If I select here, we at this point we didn't have added any constraint to it, so this one is movable. This hello world is movable, and we can drag and drop it anywhere. It is not constrained and free to move. Okay, so we will delete this one. We will delete happy birthday, hello world one. Now to add happy birthday text, we will select in plate. We will select the text and drag and drop it in our layout builder text view, and we will drag and drop it here. To change what is written, like it has written text view. To change it, we can go to attribute tab, and here the text section we can write here. Instead of text view, we can write happy birthday. And as you can see, happy birthday is written on that. This screen is what your app will show. We haven't run the app till now. We can run our app by using this play button. Now, after adding the text layout, we return happy birthday. We can drag and drop it because it has no constraint till now. If you notice in component tree under constraint layout, you can see a red error sign it is showing. It is saying missing constraints in constraint layout. Click the badge for more details. So what it is? As you can see, the our text happy birthday is not constrained yet. It is free to move. We haven't given it a proper dimensions where it should be. If I give it proper dimensions by going in attribute section, constraints widget in layout section, the square represents your view. Click on the plus at top of the square. Like this, in this way, we will add a constraint to it, and it is 344 dp away from the screen, top of the screen. Now it can't view move because we have added the top one, top constraint, so we cannot move it like this, and it will automatically set the constraint. If I move here, it will say 88, and if I move here, it will say 480. We will place it in the middle of the screen. Like this way, we will add the constraint in all the four sides. Here, now we have added all four, so I can't move it, right? If I want to move it, I can change it from here. Here I can, instead of 356, I can write 20. uh, the text will move up here. What it is margin from our text view, right? Margin is the distance from our widget to the top of the screen. It is top margin. It is showing another error here, a warning sign. We will be clearing it in height. Now we can add styles to our app, our text view. To add styles in our text view, we can just go to attributes tab and go to common attributes. Here you can see in text appearances, we can see font family, typeface, text size, text color. We can name it anything, like we can change the text size to 20 sp, and we can change the font family to anything like this. We can change the appearance of our text view. So you may be wondering, like, what is DP and SP? It's like a DP is a unit to measure for distances on the screen. Likewise, SP, we return text size is 20 SP. So SP is also a unit of measure for the font size. UI elements in Android use two different types of measurements. Density independent pixels, which is known as DP, which we used earlier for layout, and in constraint tab. In constraint, we use 356 dp. It is 155 dp, and like that only. SP is scalable pixels, which is used when setting the size of text. By default, SP is same size as dp, but it resizes based on the user's preferred text size. It is responsive. As the screen size grows or shrinks, it also grows or shrinks with respect to the screen size. We can change the font family in uh, like in text appearance. We can change the appearance of our text. We can change color of it. We can write happy birthday. To change text, we can write here happy birthday, and we will write happy birthday Sam. To remove constraints, here we can just right click on it, clear constraints of selection, so that we can move it freely again. Again, it is showing the red error here that your uh, that your views is not constrained. We'll drag it to here top. We'll change the size to 30 sp. We'll change its color to red or anything blue green. We can add another text view. Just go to plate and text view, drag and drop it here. We can change its text by here. We can write from others. To change text appearance, likewise, text size we can do 20. We can change its color or font family. Now they both the text views are showing the error, so we can make them constrained by giving them margin. For this one, we can just tap plus icon and it will automatically give it margin with respect to the position it is. Likewise for the second text view. Just wait a minute. Okay, so in this module we added text view in our app. To run the app, we can just click on this play button, run app, and it will run our app in emulator. We can see our logs of the app in build section. Here it is compiling the code and building the APK to run our app in emulator. The APK will be installed in emulator and then it will run automatically. While the app is running, we can just see what we did in this section. We dragged and dropped the two text view in our app. We changed the appearance of our text view. what is DP versus SP. SP is used for the text size and DP is used to set your widgets or views on the screen. In the next section, we will do how to add images to your Android app. Okay, so what is this sign saying? Insufficient text color contrast ratio. I think there is something problem in our emulator for the API version we are selecting. And so we will move to next section, which is how to add images in our app. We will add this image, which is shown here. You can download it from here. Now to add an image to our app, we can use a text view, image view. Image view in common section, we can see image view. Go to tools to add an image to our app. We can use tools and tools resource manager. And this plus, which shows import drawable. Click import, and the image will be imported. Image is successfully imported into, again go to our project tab. We can go to tools and we can select project. Now the image we added in our Android Studio can be seen in the Android app section in res folder, drawable folder. We can see that our image is here, android party.png. Now, in order to display this image in our app, it needs a place to be displayed. Just like we use text view to display text, you can use image view listed here to display images. In this task, we will add an image view to an app and set its image to Cupcake image you downloaded. Then you will position it and adjust its size so it fills the screen. Just drag and drop the image view. Select the image which we want to add. Click OK. And the images, we will just drag it to position. Okay, after we positioned our image in views section in constraint layout, we will position the image in attribute section. Now our image is constrained. Now our image is also centered, but it isn't taking up the whole screen yet. We will fix this in below constraint widget in the constraint section. In constraint section, we can see layout width. Set it to 0 dp, match constraints. And in layout height also we can match it to 0 constraints. Now the image view is as wide and as tall as the app screen, but the image is centered inside the image view, and there is a bunch of white spaces above and below the image. Since that doesn't look very attractive, we will adjust the scale type of the image. We can search scale type, scale type, and we will select center crop, which will fill the screen. Now we will move the image behind the text. After making the image view, it fills the screen. You can't see the text anymore, right? This is because image now covers up the text. It turns out that in order of your UI elements matters, you added the text view first, then you added the image view, which means it went on top of it. When you add views to a layout, they are added at the end of a list of view, and they get drawn in order when are in the list, a list in component tree. The image view was added to the end of the list of views in the constraint layout, which means it's drawn last and draws over the text views. To fix that, you will change the order of the views and move the image view to the beginning of the list. So it's drawn first. So we will just drag the image view and move it to in the top of the list, and we can see our text in front of image now. Now in text views, it is showing hard coded text. What it means, right? When you write apps, it's important here in component tree, the yellow triangle which is showing hard coded text. Click the badge for more details. And it's important to remember that they may be translated when you write apps, they may be translated into another language at some point, as you learned in earlier code lab. A string is a sequence of characters which we learned in our first section, Kotlin basics. Like in under the quotes, happy birthday, Sam, we have written. A hard-coded string is one that is directly in the code of your app. Hard-coded string makes it more difficult to translate your app into other languages and harder to reuse a string in different places in your app. We can deal with these issues by extracting strings into source file. That means instead of hard coding the string in your code, you put the string into a file, give it a name, and then use the name wherever you want to use this string. So that way it no longer will be hard coded. The name will stay the same, even if you change the string or translate it to a different language. Click on the orange triangle in the text view, uh, and click on fix button. Okay, the extract resource dialog box. Change the resource name. We will change it from other to happy birthday. Happy birthday text, and click OK. As now you can see the yellow warning has been removed. In pen also, we will select this text view in attributes pen. Text in common attribute. In common attributes, the text, and notice that Android Studio has automatically set it to happy birthday the text, which we changed it in the earlier dialog. Now we will go to app. In app, we will go to res folder values, and in values, we will go to string .xml. You will notice that Android Studio has created a string resource called happy birthday text here. What is this file? This file has a list of string that the user will see in your app. Note that the name of your app is also a string resource. By putting the string all in one places, you can more easily translate all the text in your app and more easily use a string in different parts of your app. We will follow the same steps for another text view also. We will click on this triangle and we will fix extract resources. We will name it in resource name. We will name it as signature text. Click OK. And this one is also fixed. In image, we can give content description like what image it is to hint the user. We will run our app again. Okay, so this is what our app looks like if we run it. We are getting an error because of the emulator and API version we are using. Let's try using another emulator. Okay, so we are only getting this because of the API version we selected for our project. That's why it is not running. If you try to use this in your emulator in your system, it will definitely run. But this is the view. In this section, this is what your apps look like in a real mobile device. So in this section also we the learn is the resource manager in Android Studio, which helps you add and organize your images and other resources. An image view is used to add images in your mobile or UI for displaying images. Image view should have a content description to help make your app more accessible. Text is shown to the user like a birthday greeting should be extracted into a string resource to make it easier to translate your app into other languages. Right? If we just hard code that this string, it can't be changed into other languages, right? Every time I have to just go here and edit the text to change its language. But in strings.xml file, we can change it easily from here only because all the text which is shown in the our app is written here with our mobile app name also. We added an image view to our app. This is the output which will this is the output. The code in GitHub repository written here. You can try it your own also. You can add any images to your app. You can add more text views. You can change the layout of your app. You can also change the app bar of the app. This section written here, happy birthday, is known as app bar. You can also remove this. So, and after that, you can take the quiz. So that's it in today's session. We learned the pathway 2 and 3, that we create your first step. We downloaded Android Studio and installed it. We installed also emulator, and in we added text views to our app. And in the pathway 3, we added images to our app using image view. We can change the appearance of our views like image or text. We can change the appearance of our text view with the help of attribute tab. Here from here we can change its appearance, we can change its size, color, and etc. We can change our string to from hard coded string to changeable string, immutable string by using we by use, fixing using the resource manager dialog box. That's it for today's session. In the next session, we will be learning how to add a button to the app and how to add a button, and we will make a small dice app by which we will press a button and dice will be rolling. So that's it for today's session. Thank you for attending. We will be organizing some more sessions, like I said, in the pathway 4 in coming Sunday in Android Study Jam, and I hope you all will attend the upcoming sessions to complete your course on Kotlin. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Does anybody has any doubt? Any sort of doubt which you have right now regarding the sessions? You can ask uh, right now. Others, please check the chat if there is any doubt in the chat.
Yep, I am ready. Hi Pratik. For HAXM, I can't tell like this also. I have to see the full log what it is showing in your Android Studio. You can just copy the error which is showing and paste it in Google, and it will show in Stack Overflow what exactly you need to do to solve this error. Because without seeing the whole log, we can't tell, right, what's the error. You have to run your app on SDK. You need to accept the SDK licenses also, and you need to install some of the requirements like AVD manager. AVD manager you have to install. SDK also you need to install from Google. This also you can get it on Google. And for more resources, everything is given in pathway 2 in learn more section to install SDK and to complete the whole setup of your Android Studio. That's great, Kapil, if it is resolved now. Any more doubts regarding Android Studio, or if you are facing any error? Okay, so we will end this session today, and we will be meeting next Sunday. So thank you everyone for attending this session.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll meet in the next session now. Thank you.